Welcome to Soil and Soul, a new Christian podcast for those who want to invest in yields that count most. 5 days a week during planting and harvest seasons, Soil and Soul looks to help you sow seeds and reap a golden harvest.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soil and Soul. I'm Aaron Lords, and I'm today's host. And today we have an episode of Tuesday Toolbox. And so if you are a brand new listener and you haven't listened to Monday's episode, please go back and listen or watch that with Father Brian Feller and myself as we do talk about the kind of the formatting that we use on this particular podcast and even each day of the week on these daily sessions, because every day is a little bit different. So on these Tuesday Toolbox episodes, I or another host will be choosing a random tool that we use around the farmyard or in the field, or really could just be not farm or agricultural related at all. Could be a household item as well. Just something that's relatable that the listener or viewer can kind of call to mind and reflect on as well. And I should say too, apologies for the bouncing around. I am in a pretty rough tilled field here. And so apologies for the way it makes this screen extra bouncy. If it causes you vestibular issues, which I guess I can relate to that, maybe just switch to the audio only. So, all right, we'll keep on going here. Today, I want to kick us off this week with a Tuesday Toolbox episode on a cooler. And so why a cooler? Well, because I have one sitting right next to me on the seat, and it is empty because I am recording this at 8:00 p.m. And so I ate everything in it, and I guess I have a little bit left of my one drink, but otherwise it's all gone. And I think a lot of you know what I'm talking about. A lot of times the goodies get snatched up pretty quickly. Especially if you get a cooler that's supposed to last you the full day. It's amazing how all that stuff gets taken up right away, especially the good snacks. I'm good for tonight right now, but my cooler sitting right next to me made me call to mind, because I think it's relatable. Even if you aren't a farmer and you don't have a cooler sitting on a tractor cab next to you, I'm sure you've used a cooler in the past to keep cold items like beverages when you're going to a party or to a football game or a barbecue, a tailgate, a family event, right? Water, pop, etc. Drinks are pretty common that way, but a lot of times people will use coolers even for hot items. I mean, you got a hot meat item and you want to keep it hot, or you want to let it cool down more slowly to let the juices kind of redistribute before you cut and serve it. Well, you might wrap it in a blanket and stick it in a cooler, right? So besides this being relatable, why do I want to talk about a cooler today? Well, because I feel like on further reflection, I feel like a cooler can be something that we can connect to our faith life, in that I feel like spiritual directors, and I feel like close friends or family members, people confidants, people especially that you can connect to in your faith life, they can be the cooler for you, and they can keep something that is really hot and that ember going, that kindling going in your faith. It can keep things moving and momentum and that growth intact, right? Because it's always continuous. I mean, we're human, we're broken, we don't have it all figured out. We might go through the Bible in a year, and we might do our additional daily reflections, and we might do a rosary, et cetera, and those are important. But we can't at some point be like, well, I got it all figured out, I think I can just stop all that now, and I don't have to pray anymore. I don't have to work on my faith. I don't have to try to grow. I don't have to try to reconnect with Christ in a relational way. I don't have to even work with my family or others around me have in a retreat setting or within my parish, within activities. No, I mean, those are all really good things, as we know, to keep things going. And there's a reason why many people do adopt a spiritual director. It's so important, right? And it's a way that we can also keep the cool things cool. I mean, like, the opposite of the hot kindling, the things that are like ignite, in fact, well, this is 4-H, but there's also the Catholic ignite. I'll go with the opposite there. And the cool things that we want to keep subsided and the things that are and kind of frozen in our hearts that we need to share. We need to share with someone, and it's very important that we as Catholics experience the sacrament of reconciliation with a priest, but we also have to look at the idea of having like a regular spiritual director, or another, even in addition to that, having other lay faithful that we can connect to. And like, as a man, I will say things like Knights of Columbus and other parish related organizations that like-minded, good Christian Catholic confidants can come together and connect. They can bond, they can enjoy time together, but also talk about their faith and be comfortable with that. And women have their own groups like that too. And then there's also multi-gender groups as well. And then when it comes down to it, if you are married, if you have a spouse, a lot of times that ends up being that person as well. I know in my case, my wife is definitely one of my confidants, and we have that for each other. We're able to talk about our faith in depth, and I think that's important, right? So I think I don't think it's a stretch too much to say that these people in your lives can be like the cooler that I have next to me, and an empty cooler isn't near as much fun as a full one, right? So as we reflect today, if you're still listening to me at this point or watching, maybe just reflect a little bit about who are the coolers in your life, or who are the people that make up your own cooler, and how empty is that cooler? How full are you allowing that cooler to be by being vulnerable and by opening up? And that goes for your relationship with Christ too. I mean, you can't receive if you're not open to receive, right? If I was just really not open at all to getting this cooler filled by my wife, or even just by myself, by what's in our kitchen, if I was like, no, I'm not going to have any of that, I'm going to reject all that, well, then I'm going to end up ultimately going hungry. And that's the same with our faith too. I mean, if we have this lid on this cooler just closed down, and we keep it that way, and we refuse to open up, I mean, that relationship isn't going to thrive with those people, and the same goes with Christ too. So anyway, some words to chew on here, and I hope maybe you might find some of that relatable, and fill up your coolers, folks. So for now, God bless. We'll talk to you later this week.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Soil and Soul, and we hope that it blesses you. Please stay tuned during the week for the other daily shows that we offer as part of this special ministry project we're providing during the peak seasons of planting and harvest. Also, if you'd like to find out more about Catholic Passage, how you might collaborate with us, or even support our mission, please visit us at CatholicPassage.com. Most importantly, you can support us with your prayers. We'll be praying for you. Please pray for us.